Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Sunday night, and we're with HRF1 final round of the season, short qualifying, 50% race at Bahrain. Strange place to finish up, but it's a good choice because it's usually a really good race. So, hello again, Bowden. We are here for one more night. One more night. Oh, whoopee. Missed my voice. Oh, definitely missed yours. Lovely Scottish accent you have. Um, we are going into night. So we know from last week that the drivers' championship was won by Massey. So we are mostly looking at or mainly looking at the constructors' championship for tonight. Now, just double checking because I think there was a little bit of confusion last week as to whether it was actually won or not. So no, it wasn't. So no, the gap at the moment is 35 points between Aston Martin and Mercedes. So to give you an idea, a win in HRF1 is 40 points, and second is 32 points. So that's 72, and the fastest lap, 73 points on offer. So a gap of 35 is definitely surmountable. It's not going to be easy for Mercedes to do that, but it's going to depend a lot on Aston Martin, of course, and how they get on. Looks like we've got 17 on the grid, which is two more than I was expecting, actually. I thought we only had the 15 tonight, so great news to have 17. I think most leagues are expecting low numbers in this last week, so to still get 17 is pretty impressive, I've got to say. Very well done to HRF1 admins and, of course, the drivers as well. Both of which we couldn't do this without. So thank you to all of you. I am technically an admin, actually. I kind of forgot. I don't do anything really in admin. I think I'm only in there because I'm a streamer, and because I've done it a lot before in other leagues. So I'm kind of just another voice really to give a bit of advice. Either that or there's something I'm supposed to be doing and I didn't know. Nobody told me. So it's not been getting done. Oh dear. Point system completely wrong. It's 25 points for a win this season, mate. Oh, right. So 25 for a win this season. Why didn't anybody tell me? You know, I'm literally the most important person to tell. And nobody told me. That's literally so bad. 24 points for a win this season. It's the second 18, I assume. Tell me if that's wrong. But I'm glad you found that so hilarious, well. Oh, I might get it tonight, says Whoopi. That's naughty boy. Yeah, no worries, Massey. Just to confirm for everybody, that is I'm just finishing bathing the kids, not bashing. I just want to confirm that because he put that in Discord and I accidentally read it as bashing rather than bathing. So just wanted to confirm, just in case anybody else read it wrong and was about to call social services or anything like that. Please don't. So, Chris on track, who actually got out first? It was a Red Bull by the looks of things. Bowden, I believe. It is indeed. It's Bowden amongst us tonight in the Red Bulls. Just to continue a little bit with the constructors. After Mercedes, you got Ferrari who sat in third place on 200 points, a further 27 behind Mercedes, so they could still pit Mercedes, but not enough points on offer then with this brand new point system just brought in tonight. It's not enough points on offer for them to beat Aston Martin. So it's just Mercedes. Potentially could. 7 points though only between third and fourth, which is Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. So those top four teams really are the teams we're looking at. Aston Martin and Mercedes for either first or second, with Ferrari and Alfa Romeo fighting for third. Although Ferrari could nick second in the championship as well. So what's happening here? Is he slowed right down and I've missed... I'm not on the person who's first anymore, am I? Corey is first. The newly named WAOF1 Corey. The legend that was formerly known as Junkie Emperor. New name, new driver maybe. You need a new driver out of him. He's been doing very, very well in recent weeks. Well, not so much last week. Both Aston Martins had a mare last week, but in the previous weeks before that, as the AlphaTauri gets way out of the way. Yeah. Bahrain final race, Greza. Yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it, mate? But I think it's a great shape for a final race. To be honest, I think it's a great track. With certainly for the game, there's loads of overtaking around here. So I think it's a great track for the game to be a last track. Because we did a very, very short season, it was we basically chose all the tracks that everybody liked. So. And Bahrain was last of them. So, anyway, Corey goes 29.2 to get us underway. Chris in the McLaren heading for the line, 29.7. So Red Bull on its way. I'm not going to get there in time. Bowden 29.6, 29.5 for Craig. Pass over the line was Crisp on a 30.6. This is X11. 29.4 goes P2 for the moment. Reach the Ferrari in time, not really, but it's Hunter going 29.7. Alfa Romeo, I should have stuck to the... Oh, there we go. Valungus 28.7, good start from Valungus. Those monsters. This is Chip Fan out the final corner, there's a couple of others crossing the line. Gunnar goes 28.7. And we got... Chip Van across line there, 30.7. Lycorius on his way. Oh no, it's not Lycorius, sorry. But he is on his way, he's just coming out the penultimate corner. Ooh, Junkie, nice tag. I wonder why he said that. It is indeed. Lycorius P7 then on the 29.5. Chips or CP Hips. It's either Chips because he likes chips, or it's CP Hips because he has some sort of leak coming out of his hips. See what I did there, CP? You know. You see what I did there. Oh, look, we're up to 18. We've got 18th driver now. Finny Cut. Or Fine Cut. Finny Cut, Fine Cut. Well, I saw his name a couple of times in the Discord earlier on, and I was definitely reading it as Finny Cuts, but now I'm reading it as Fine Cut, I think. Although Finny Cut's kind of more fun to say. Let's wait. Down the straight to the final corner then. And, you know anything about Finny Cuts. I think he might drive it on Monday rather than a Sunday usually, but he's reserving tonight. Oh, he's into the pits, so we're not going to find out anything about him here either. Okay, anybody else? Chips or CP Hips? CP Hips. I've been calling him Chips for ages, I don't know why that's suddenly coming to my mind. 31.0 goes P15. Checo getting towards the end of his out lap, so we'll stick with him because nobody else is actually on the lap at the moment. And in fact, I'll tell you what, why don't we, with Checo, do the hilly hot lap? As soon as he's going around to start. So, lap pretty much starts out of this corner. So getting a good exit, such a long straight, you want to take a good speed all the way down the straight, open up your DRS, over the line to start the lap officially. You head down to heavy braking into turn 1. Always a great overtaking opportunity down into here. Ideally don't touch the curb. You saw there he's been too deep into the corner because of the touch on the curb. Open up DRS again, head up to turn 4 now. Late braking, late turning, but you need to hit the apex. It enables you to open up the steering, get on the power that much quicker. Do a quick left, right, left. On the, sort of building your power all the way through the exit of the final part of that corner, and heavy braking into a late apex again. A little bit out of shape, but not too much of an issue. And into this long left-hander, you need to brake as you're going around. Personally, I use ABS still, but I'd imagine for people that don't use ABS, that's got to be one of the most difficult corners I would have thought of the season. It's the left-hander. Really throw the car in here. You could take it in 5th quite easily and shift up to 6th through the corner, and flat out through the right-hander into the penultimate corner, which again is so important to hit the apex because it enables you to get on the power down the straight. It leads down to the final corner. And again, put the car over to the left-hand side, turn in as late as you can, really. Again, hit the apex, open up the steering, put the power down. DRS or the short stints of the line. 31.4 from Checo, has him in P16 for the moment, but there was quite a few little moments he had around there, so I've no doubt whatsoever he's got plenty of time left in him yet. Let's get towards the top where Corey just starting his second run. On a 29.2 in P3. Realised when we first saw him do that lap, I didn't realise that was going to have him as high as P3, but it wouldn't at the end of the session. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more into the 28s before the end. If you're in the 28s, you qualifying around here, you're doing pretty well. Fastest guys was usually being in the low 28s, maybe even high 27s, but generally if you're into the 28s you're probably going to get a reasonably good qualifying position. Obviously it depends on the league, but then saw how to take that corner there. It still wasn't absolutely perfect, but better than what we saw from Checo at the time. And 3 attempts up for Corey, so this is taking him into the 28s. There's no major issues at the final corner, so needs to gain a bit to actually gain a place on Valungus. Although should get Chris quite comfortably here. Oh, he didn't get into the 28s. He lost time through the final sector. But Bowden now goes fastest on the 28.6. Fine cut or Finny cut. He can set his first actual time of the session. And he's heading for the line. 28.9. That puts him into P4. Nice lap from Fine cut. Red Bull, that's the Red Bull Monsters on his way round. Gunner's gone fastest, 28.5. As Monsters improves by 1.2 seconds, that has him in P10 on a 29.4. All very tight at the moment. Hunter, he improved, he has by 6 tenths, that moves him into P7. It really is getting tight. Sort of P5 down to P12 at the moment, covered by half a second. Movement in the first sector. Anybody else? Just Chris is on. No, he's on the in lap, sorry. Let's go back then to Fatal. Massey's still in the pits. I'm getting reports that he may have fallen in the bathwater. Potentially. May not get a time on board in this session. Yeah, it did. Like the final corner, he's managed to make that time up from 6-1. Doesn't look like it, he heads for the pits. And in he comes. Red Bull on the way round, I suspect that's Monsters, is it? Yeah, he should be going into the pits. Ferrari, I think is Hunter, so he's... Yeah, both Ferraris going to head into the pits. Anybody else then? Have we got anybody actually on the latch? No. Oh, Massey's managed to get out the bathwater. Either that or he's still in the bathwater, the kids got out the bath and he's taking his seat. Left poor old dad in the bathwater, and they've got themselves out and they're in. One's got two kids, and then one's on the steering wheel, the other's on the pedals. Is there any little see if he hips, comes across the line? I think to start a lap. No chips here. God damn it, Gooner. Well, you're just going to have to go a bit faster, Bowden. A couple more attempts, you'll get him back. I was expecting pole around here to be at least a low 28, so at least a 28.2 I would have expected for pole. So let's see if somebody can grab that. Idea, my last time I raced here, my qualifying time, which had me P2 on the grid, was 27.9, and I wouldn't usually consider myself amongst the favourites for pole around here, so it's, in this league, so definitely expect some improvements yet. 27.9, I've got to be honest, was a bit of a special lap because it was actually around about half a tenth quicker than my time trial, so I'd never done before beating a time trial in qualifying. So 3/4 of a second improvement for Chips, then goes into P14. Glorious on his way down straight and slightly up. So opens 29.5. That's 0.02 of a second he's improved there, like Glorious. Not enough for a position. Fatal across the line, 1.2 second improvement. That moves him into P15. Much better from Fatal. Across the line, improves for 0.2, goes P10. 29.3. Just tighter and tighter, isn't it? Fine cut, I think it's quite early in the lap, just cuts the end of sector 1. He's just over half a tenth down, but that's very easily gained back. Always more time in sector 2, not a technical sector. And this left-hander here, I don't think anybody's ever taken this left-hander perfect as such. I think there's always more time in it. So car over to the right hand side to open up the entrance. Just come up. End of sector 2 is just round this right hander. And yeah, slightly up now. We need quite a bit more though. He needs exactly 1.5 tenths in order to gain a place. over Volungus, so really need an on fire final sector. Massey on that lap, he's done Runaway, has gone P4, which kids have, I'm not sure yet. So fine cut improves, not enough to gain a place, but makes it slightly harder for those behind him to displace him. Here comes Corey. Oh no, that's to start a lap, sorry. I'm supposed to be straight, or has he just started a lap? I think he's just started a lap as well. Let's stick with Hunter then. In the race of the season, may as well get the quality back from the boss man in the lead. And the third down seems to struggle to make the apex. In fact, he's backed out. Backed out now. He should have enough time to get the energy back up before the end of the lap. Oh, he ain't got enough time actually, as a matter of seconds. So yeah, the checker flag's just about to come out. Chip Van is coming into the pits. There's an Alpha. Who is the Alpha? It's Lungus, who has invalidated. There's a McLaren. That's Chris. No improvement though from Chris, 5 seconds down. Validation from Crisp in the Haas. Alpha Tauri. Final cuts, he's invalidated. Then you got the 2 Aston Martins. Gunner, but he's 4 attempts down. I think he was given a tow actually to Corey. As the tow worked. It only ever serves to put me off, but it's worked for Corey. Improves by over a tenth, but doesn't gain a place. Stays behind Fine Cut. Fatal, no. He's got an invalidation. Checo coming out the final corner. Yeah, he's on a big improvement. Second up through sector 2. Should gain a place or 2. Oh no, he lost a lot of time in the final sector, so he stays P18. These guys, Massey is invalidated. Whoopi's into the pits. Bowden heads to the line. Did he manage to find anything? He did, but not enough for pole. He can't quite take it. He's half a tenth away. And Hunter was into the pits as well. So that is the end of our final qualifying session of the season. And it's going to be Gunner, quite rightly I think as well, taking pole position on our final race. Young Bowden though in P2. Superb qualifying from him. So close, Bowden. But not meant to be tonight, but you're getting closer all the time, lad. Mattsy's treating us to a few donuts as he crosses the line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, as they say, is that qualifying. So just to confirm then, Gunner on pole, Bowden P2, Whoopi 3, Massey in 4, Volungus 5, Fine Cut 6, Corey in 7, Hunter 8, Chris 9, Chip Van 10, Craig in 11, X 11, 12, Monsters in 13, Lacorius 14, Chips in 15, Fatal 16th, Crisp in 17th, and Checo goes up the back of the grid there in the McLaren in P18. Quickly go to the race director. You see that's all the incidents just there on the one page, so nothing of any note required for stewards, but just in case, you never know. Okay guys, as always really, we do take a break, so please bear with me. I'll be back shortly. Just going to fill my coffee back up basically. Bowder said he lost time in the first sector, so it's the first sector that's done you there. Very easy to do, mind. It's a difficult first, well, turns 1, 2 and 3 are a pain in the bum. I think turn 4 can be actually on exit as well. It can be a bit slippy, so it make you lose time, but yeah, anyway, as I say, I'm going to refill my coffee guys and I should be back. See you in a moment. Okay, he's back, and I'm all I can say is I was very glad that I muted my microphone when I took my headset off, because it's gonna make me coffee. Because my dad's watching one of those hospital programs where you see the operation and everything that they're doing, and he literally just it was on like one of these cameras that's been inserted inside someone. He literally just looked around at me and went. He literally looked at me and went, "They're inside his penis." Great, Dad. Thanks. Um, it's even better because when I do comms, my dad has to wear a headset himself for watching the telly, and when he's got a headset on, he because he's got a headset on and he can't hear properly, he thinks he's got to shout. So he literally shouted it at me. Oh dear, in a way. Just waiting. There's a lot of talking going on in the Discord a second. I'm just going to have a quick look. There's the countdown, so everything's fine by the looks of it. Right, off on the formation lap they go. Like a pro, I forgot to get my little bits of information ready for the formation lap. So I'm trying to rush now and trying to get into them. Oh, unbelievable, can't find it. Oh, there. I think that's it. There we go. Well, just first of all, just to remind you that the podium in this year's race here at Bahrain was a 1-2 for Red Bull, Verstappen, Perez, and Alonso in P3. A superb result in that brilliant Aston Martin this year. But about the Bahrain International Circuit, the first Grand Prix held here was in 2004. It's usually a 57 lap race. Of 5.4 kilometre lap, full race distance 308.2 kilometres. The lap record here is held, believe it or not, by Pedro de la Rosa, who set the fastest lap in 2005 with 1 minute 31.447. Around here you can usually expect great racing, a decent amount of overtakes, while the drivers have to contend with wind, racing under floodlights, and the difficulty of finding a decent setup with the wide temperature fluctuations between sessions. The track's most challenging point is the tight downhill off-camber turn 10 left-hander, while the fast run through turn 12 is another highlight, allowing the racers to really feel their cars coming alive. Gunnar reaching his grid slot an awful lot faster than everybody else, which is a bit naughty of the others. They should be keeping pace with him. I have to leave my little bits of information there at that point. Just remember to make sure I've got it open next time. Right, okay, let's take a quick look. Tyres wise, 4 of the top 5 starting on mediums. Bowden is the only one that isn't. I guess the mediums covers off the potential safety car, early safety car. It's a long wait. Gunnar's been sat there for some time. It's a long run down to turn 1 as well, as all the lights come on. And out they go. And the Ferrari looks like he reacted very well there. Whoopi having a look at Bowden, who's got a decent start himself. Remember, he's on the hards. So, oh, the other Ferrari, that's Hunter. Ferraris hit each other. Hunter misses his braking. And that drops him to the back. I don't know if he's got any damage, but he's definitely got a penalty. Oh, Checo is out. We've lost Checo. Are we going to get a safety car? I think we are. Right in the middle of the track. There's still chips there. I was doing a bit of avoidance. It is a virtual safety car, not a full. So it's not going to help the guys that may have damage or anything like that. Chips doesn't have damage. So look at Hunter. Can't see anything obvious. I don't think he's missing an end plate. Oh no, yes he is. He's missing his left end plate. Apologies. He is missing his left end plate. Coria seems to be okay. Looks to me like Fatal's missing his left end plate as well. Yeah, he is. Right, Crisp. He's okay. So I think everybody else is okay. But, we should be seeing Hunter and Fatal into the pits. Not the most uncommon sight, seeing somebody miss their braking down into turn 1 on the first lap. It is difficult. So away we go. We're off and running. Obviously those two would have been hoping that the BSC stayed out past the pit lane, but it doesn't. And that's Cuts having a look. He's having a little look at Vlungus, but I think that door was always going to shut. He was never far enough alongside to be allowed any room. And Chip Van's actually managed to take advantage of that and is up into P6. So nicely done from Chip Van. We've got Muner still leading, but at the moment Bowden is keeping pace with him. And if we were to have Whoopi side pod and floor yellow damage, fortunately Whoopi, it was your teammate. I don't know if anything happened to him, but it was definitely the other Ferrari which hit you. Yeah, you see Whoopi running a bit wide there. That long right-hander is flat out, but if you've got damage, it's going to affect you. And I'd say it's flat out. Actually, I would fault most drivers. I'm pretty sure I do lift through there in a race. I think you're better off lifting through it during the race because it's quite harsh on the tyres. The outside tyres, the left side tyres. Oh, Craig's having a look at Corey. The inside, the Williams on the Aston Martin, and done really nicely and cleanly. Corey attempts a little switch back, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. See, Craig has DRS himself. They're both getting DRS off the car in front in a way. And that was a nice move from Craig at the inside. It's turn 1. Nicely done. Well executed. Yellow flags. I think that's Chips. He's had a little individual mistake moment down at turn 4. Checo, unlucky man. I don't know whether you clipped it or not. Alright, back on he goes. Who is it I wanted to go to here? I think it's Crisp. Crisp on the mediums. Actually got Lycorius behind, who started on the softs, so he's going to be pitting early. How early, I'm not 100% sure. I suppose around 7 or 8, lap 7 or 8, maybe even 9. takes this time down to turn 1. With this being a medium against hards, we might have the best chance we ever take here. So I think this just made a bit of a mistake into turn 1 himself. Maybe he was caught out by a slightly different braking caused by the DRS. Round. This is Lycorius now, he's on the back of him. It was an Alpha Tauri that hit you. It would have either been Fine Cut or Lycorius, as Lycorius is further back. I'd assume it was him, but I can't be sure of that, so... Well, all looks pretty steady. Gunnar pulled out over a second now, he's 1.3, but that is not much. I would say right at this moment in time, as it stands right now, for me, this is advantage Bowden at the moment. Oh, Chris is having a look at X11. It's DRS, X11's ERS light starts flashing, which should mean he's a bit of a sitting duck here. Come up to turn 1, and as you can see, Chris, nicely done, up the inside. Oh, X11 comes to the switchback. He may get an opportunity to come back. It's turn 4. And does indeed. So he gets him back. And, oh, yeah, Chris got out of shape himself there, and Craig's taking advantage. And moved into P9. Craig doing well at the moment. Is Craig had a nice move earlier on Corey. He's taking advantage there. Chris's mistake, and that is Corey on the back of them, by the way, in the Aston Martin. It stands right now. Aston Martin will be champions. Gunnar leading the way. So there's one Aston Martin ahead of each of the Mercedes, so right now doesn't look much like changing. Remember, there was another battle between Ferrari and Alfa Romeo, wasn't there? And Alfa Romeo are doing pretty nicely at the moment. After that incident in turn 1 where the Ferraris hit each other, I say hit each other, it's very much one hit the other. And we know that the one that was the innocent victim in that has picked up quite bad damage. So right now, the Alfa Romeo's looking pretty handy to maybe nick P3 in this championship. So Lycorius pits, having done 5 laps on the soft tyres, so not very many at all. He is 2-stopping. Interesting, he has opted to 2-stop here at Bahrain. It's definitely one of the tracks you could do it. There's nothing wrong with a 2-stop here. I think, honestly, I think the 2-stop is probably slower at every track over the through the season. But some of the tracks are so close that when you take into account human error, particularly when you're running on more worn tyres, a 2-stop definitely has its merits. What you don't want is to end up in traffic. Okay. Of course, hasn't ended up in traffic, but he has come out about a second behind Fatal, who's not always the easiest to get past. So, not the ideal for him. Stick with these guys in the middle at the moment because they are the closest. Of course, it's just he's still got getting heat into his tyres at the moment, so he's not able to attack Fatal just yet. Probably may have an opportunity when they come around onto the pit straight with the DRS. So, sorry, I've only just noticed that I missed that a bit further up. But Massey's gotten ahead of Bowden for P2. I still, in my opinion, would say that it's advantage Bowden still, as it stands right now. So let's just head to Lycorius. He's began to close that gap now. And he's got DRS, I think. Yep. He has got DRS. It's not going to obviously get close enough here. It's only sort of now that his mediums really will be starting to feel the good effect from those mediums. But remember, the guys that are still on the mediums now, they're only 5 laps in. So, oh, sorry, Fatal's 5 laps in, the rest are 6. And Hunter as well, 5 laps in. Just got to be patient here, like Aureus. She is doing. To him. Gets a really good angle for entry there into the corner. You need to be careful, the two of them now. Oh, Lycorius, that's no contact there. There's no contact. He spun that on the curb. From what I could see, in a way, I didn't see any contact, so I don't think there was any. He spun that himself on the curb. He had left room to the outside. But, it's turn 4. Bowden definitely benefiting here from getting the DRS off of Marcy still. The only thing I'd say here for Bowden is, look at the top guys, none of them are conserving energy at all. Fine Cut and P7's just over 20%, he's the highest until you get to P10. None of the top guys are conserving energy at this point. Should be at the point now where Bowden's hards are on a very similar level to the mediums. So we may be able to start relying on the DRS rather than ERS to stay on the back of the Mercedes. No real need to use it then. Away. You have to say, what people that damage doing a grand job staying in P4, and they've got Lungus at the moment. He's doing a decent job as well. And, probably the first time tonight I can actually remember the two Alfa Romeos have actually split strategy between them. Lungus running mediums first, with X11 running the hards first. And it's like, if this remains no safety cars to a point where the hard, well, to a point where the medium tyres are pitted, and it does very much become advantage to the guys that started hards. And we're only 3 or 4 laps off of the pit stops now. So lap 12 to sort of 15 probably. Should see medium tyre starters coming in. Move down. That's very close to the back of Craig, who just drops out of the 1 second. Now, is he going to be able to get back within the 1 second before the DRS activation? I don't think he has. So, Chris should have a chance here. It seems to just get away a bit at the final corner. Chris, I think because of that, Chris has opted to not use any energy, which means he does survive that one. I think Chris would be a little bit disappointed not to get in there. He was so close going down into the final corner. Might get an opportunity here though up into turn 4. Needs to make the inside of the corner. Does do, and to be fair, there we go, so Craig P9, Chris P10. Craig fights him off this time, but oh goodness me, thank goodness. There's a bit of lag on my side. It looked like it was going straight into the back of him, but did run wide though. And have to switch quickly to Bowden. Just coming out the final corner, close to Whoopi as Gunnar is into the pits. That's early. And Whoopi's in. That is very early from those two. Bowden up the inside of Massey, gets it done nicely. Massey looks to try and maybe try a little switchback. I mean, that's a very good indication that the hard tyres are now doing very nicely against those mediums. But I still say that is very early to pit from Gunnar and Whoopi. I guess that they're taking into account the fact that Bowden is going to be pitting some mediums, so they perhaps want to get onto their hards earlier to try and get some sort of undercut effect to give them a lead of some sort. I think that once Bowden's up to temperature on his mediums after he pits, as long as everything sort of goes alright, then oh, that's Craig. Oh no, he's having such a good race. Oh, he's just took his wing off, trying to turn round. It's never good. It's a shame for him. He was having a really good race, was Craig. It's a shame. I've no idea if that was any contact or whether that was a spin on himself, but either way, definitely a shame for him. Chips has pitted then. He's on to the hards to go to the end of this race. And just to say that Gunnar and Whoopi come out in P11 and P12. Now, they're not in any sort of traffic or anything like that, so now Massey's in, so he is reacting immediately to them. I thought he might have just stayed out a bit longer. Gunnar is on his way. He should appear on our left anytime now. There he is. There is Gunnar. He gets past, but Whoopi doesn't. And it's this little... Well, actually, I say little. It's going to be a good 3/4 of a lap, maybe even a full lap for Massey to get these tyres up to temperature, where Whoopi's going to have a clear advantage. Well, look at the advantage. That's the extra heat that Whoopi's managed to generate. That's Whoopi's advantage, so the undercut really worked for Whoopi. And, of course, Gunnar as well. But, obviously, Massey's advantage will be that slightly less wear on his tyres for the rest of this race. No idea what that yellow flag was. It was on this straight that they've just gone through, but I can't see. I couldn't see any cars having had any issues. Is there a lap car in there? Yeah, okay. I think that must have been what it is. Chips is in there a lap down, so I can only assume he's like slowed down to let people through. As into the pits comes now P2 Valungis. As those hard starters start to take those top positions now, and they'll have a fun second half of the race when they go to the mediums. So Valungis onto the hards, through goes Gunnar, Whoopi and Massey. It's Chris we're looking at here, and oh no, hang on. Oh no, Chris is in the pit, sorry. So, yeah, no, sorry, it was Chip Van we were looking at, but yeah, no, Valungis well in front of Chip Van. So those guys are in a bit of a race of their own. They are fighting, I think, for P5. So, yeah, I think that's Chips, is it? Yeah. Right then, so the hard starters. So the top 5 guys now are all guys that started on the hard tyres. So it's worked for them. They have got an advantage here. Hunter and Fatal will be coming up to their pit stop on the mediums. I don't know if I didn't notice if either of those drivers actually started. I think that's Fatal's had a spin there. Coming out of turn 4, and he's lost his front wing by the looks of things. So that'll be back to the pits. Hope he dumped the tyre. I hope he sees the last race out. So we'll see. Now, okay, so now what we've got happening is Gunnar is catching Monsters. So Monsters is in 5th. He started on the hard tyres, so he's the first of those 5 that started on the hards. As we got a yellow down. Turn 1, 2, and 3 there. I think again, I'm pretty sure that's just chips. Not 100% on that mind. No, it must be. Actually, looking at who it is around that area, it must be. It's Williams, so it must be chips. Actually, the other Williams isn't anywhere near there. Oh, and that looks like a Haas. I think that was Crisp. No, well, I'm not sure, actually. Record that, but I think that will need to be looked back at. I'm not sure what's caused this at all, but it's a full safety car. Hey Vice, are you still setting it up? I wish I could be of help, mate, but I literally have absolutely no idea. Yeah, it was definitely Fatal's car that was stopped, but I'm not sure that that's what caused anything. I don't know, but... Oh, I think I've just seen... Yeah, I've just seen something pop up there. Yeah, Fatal Defiance has left the server. So, I hate to say it, but that does make it look like... Does make it look like... intentional, and with other leagues watching tonight as well. Doesn't look good for them in those leagues, to be honest, but never mind. Just not going to dwell on that. We've got a half a race to do. That is a disaster, to be honest with you, for these guys. For Gunnar, Whoopi, Massey pitted, so yeah, Massey's pitted and has come out P10 to go back to the mediums. I don't blame him. I'm a little bit surprised, actually, that Gunnar and Whoopi haven't. They've got the pace to get back through the field towards the front, but wow. Certainly right now, as of this moment in time, Biden, I think, has definitely gone favourite to win this race, but obviously the safety car brings X11 back into it. As well as fine cut, although he has a penalty. Well, I mean, obviously the safety car's brought everybody back into it, apart from Chips, unfortunately, who was a lap down, and he is at the back of the field in terms of it's going to be at the back of the safety car, so I don't think 15 guys are going to drive off track to let him through, unfortunately. Sometimes if you're sort of behind the first or second drivers, or maybe the third or fourth, they notice, and some people, if they're nice enough, may pull off track. It enables a lap car to move past them, and once that lap car becomes the car that's directly behind the safety car, the game will tell them to overtake it. So whether we'll still have to do that on F1-23 or not, I don't know. I think that may be the case, as I've not heard anything about cars being allowed through under safety car, and in fact I seem to remember Codemaster Sin is actually extremely difficult to do, but it is something that they, as soon as they can, they do intend on putting it in, as Chip Van is out. He's ended up in the left-hand wall. Absolutely no idea how, but he has, as Bowden leaves it quite late, coming out the final corner. You don't want to be attacked down into turn one. Obviously with those mediums he's got the extra grip. He does hold on. Whoopi having a good go at Gunnar, but Gunnar holds him off for the moment. Can Whoopi get a go up into turn four maybe? From the outside, it's going to be a last breaker thing going on here, but with cold hards as well, this isn't easy to try and do. Might have him. I think he's done this, you know. He has. Fair play. Very good move from Whoopi. Oh, they have a little touch. Oh. Don't think that's on Whoopi, to be fair, but Gunnar held it. He didn't actually lose a place, so I don't think it's too much of an issue there. Corey is up into P5. Fine cut down to 6. Lance back into the action. Hunter, I mean, back into the action, and which could be important. It's obviously they're fighting, Ferrari fighting with Alfa Romeo for that third spot in the championship. And Whoopi in P2, despite the damage he's got on his car, he's doing a grand job. He's going to come under attack at some point from the guys that are on the mediums. There's no ifs or buts about that, and X11 is probably the most important of those because he is an Alfa Romeo. Yeah, definitely. No, definitely your fault, Will. You checked the stream. Did you get it? Definitely, Vice. I agree. There's so many warnings as well. Like, so dirty. Right, so Chris is the yellow flag. And that's dropped him down to P14. Chips still right on the back of the group. The only way Chips can get back on the lead lap here is if another safety car comes out and everybody pits ahead of him. Otherwise, there's no getting back on a lead lap. If he's faster than the guys in front of him, he is allowed to unlap himself, provided that he can also get away from them afterwards as soon as the blue flags start to flash again. We'll give him a little bit of grace period where he can try and get away. But if he can't get away, the blue flags will start to flash again, and he does have to adhere by them. So, Hunter up another place. Bringing a mistake there, he lost 2 places. Chip's going through to unlap himself from his teammate there. So, and Craig's into the pits. A shame for Craig, as I say, at the early part of this race, he was having a really good start to the race, and He's doing really well and having some nice racing, but he's got a bit wrong in the middle part of the race. Yeah, well, let's not forget, well, tomorrow night for the Monday night. Oh, I think Columbus had a little moment there when I was looking down at my phone, and he loses out to Monsters. That is important because the next car behind him is the Ferrari of Hunter. So, it's not ideal at all for Columbus. How's X11 getting on? Needs to get ahead of Massey. That's Gunnar, sorry. Gunnar on the back of Whoopi, that's easier said than done. Whoopi's best defence here may actually be to drag Gunnar along with him. Because if he was to pull away from Gunnar, you feel that X11 would fly past him with DRS. He's going to here anyway, isn't he? He's got to run. Oh, goodness me. This is going to be tight. With Whoopi ahead of Gunnar, of X11, in a straight line, I mean, it made it almost impossible for X11 to make the move, but here he goes again to the inside for turn 4. Gunnar doing his absolute utmost to defend this, and I think he might actually defend it this time. Let's be honest, this is going to be lap after lap that he's going to have to sustain this sort of pressure from the Alfa Romeo if he's going to hold him behind right to the end of the race. And I hadn't noticed, but Whoopi has picked up a penalty, so that effectively puts X11 ahead of Whoopi. Hey Oozers. Hey Coxie. It's a fair shout, Coxie. They'll definitely be on their last legs. But they'll definitely get to the end. But yeah, you're probably right for the last couple of laps. Last 2 or 3 laps, I'd imagine. They're going to be struggling a bit. The fact that the guys had already pitted to the hard tyres and done sort of 4 or 5 laps on them probably helps a bit. Actually, probably thinking, look, if you can't get past, let me have a go. But don't quite work like that. What? What vital advice even? I know what a talented lad he is, Oozes. No, I know what you mean, Vice. You know, your name for the hilly hot lap. Right, this. Why does nobody ever save their energy? Corey has, look. Corey saved his energy. He could be a dark horse. Oh, Whoopi's round. Oh, did Gunnar hit him because Gunnar's gone off wide? Oh, that is a disaster for Ferrari. And now, well, they're gonna need a miracle, quite frankly, to stay third in the title race for the constructors. I think Alfa Romeo is going to take that, and the fact it was Gunnar, I think. I mean, I'm not 100% sure if there was contact. You guys might have seen it. I didn't, but Again, I was looking at my phone. What about Vicious? Vicious Vice. Back. No. Is it? How about you just change your name from Vice to something a bit better for us to make someone up? You know, Hilly was just perfect. Change your name to Quentin. Quentin Qualilap. Oh dear. Do you know what? We've got battles all the way through the field here, but That's the one. It's intriguing, really. Gunnar hanging on to X11 somehow. I mean, we're at the point where the mediums. Well, no. I mean, if they were both on 8 laps old on their tyres, this is the point where the mediums and the hards would be around about the same, quite similar in a way. Obviously, the hard's slightly more worn this time, so really, I would say the advantage is still with X11. But with 3 DRS zones around here, it's really, really difficult to get away. But with how it is right now, I'm just going to sort of remind myself of what the gap was. Was it 9 points, I think? Constructors. 7 points even, so it's even less our fault. So it's 7 points the difference. Ferrari only looking at picking up 3 points as it stands. Yeah, I mean, if X11 holds on to P2, his points alone would take 3rd place. What about Mercedes then? So, Mercedes at the moment are picking up 12. As opposed to 18. Now, 1, 2, 4, 6 for 7th, so 24 and 12. Yeah, no, that's no Alpha. No, I can confirm definitely Alpha are not going to catch Mercedes as long as Massey finishes this race. So, and even then, I don't think even if he doesn't, I still don't think they'll catch him actually. So it is just a fight for P2. As it stands right now, Aston Martin easily will be Constructors champions, currently running P3 and P5. Their lead, remember, is quite large, so a 35-point lead. Mercedes really needed miracles in order to displace Aston Martin, and actually the fact that one of their drivers has launched the toys out the pram means that it's just impossible. So I have to say, I've got to give a lot of admiration to this young man. Vice, this young man, Bowden, is 13 years of age. And he's looking on course to win here in Bahrain. I don't want to touch wood a second because I don't want to curse him. He's not one. Yeah, he's winning amongst drivers. He's had a few incidents here and there, but never usually anything bad or anything like that. But when he's sort of, a bit further into the Grand Prix, when cars are separated a bit, when he's on his own, he doesn't really tend to make mistakes, so don't fancy him doing anything silly here as a yellow flag comes up, but it's not him, thank goodness. It's Haas, and it's Crisp in the Haas. So, fair play to Chips, by the way. Carrying on, he switched to a set of softs now to take the fastest lap, I would guess. Only one really that could pit to take that off of him would be his teammate Craig. So perhaps the two Williams could have a little fastest lap battle here. Although Craig will want to, he needs to leave it as late as possible because otherwise Chris will then have a gap to pit as well. So unless they want to have a freeway battle for it. May as well, a bit further down, have a bit of fun. Let's just go to Vlungus, who's on the back of the Ferrari with Whoopi. I didn't see what happened, it's oh no, I think Hunter's just lost places, but on this. So going to be any late changes. Hard to see any right now. So there is the potential still, of course, for Gunnar to get past X11, but at the moment X11's holding them off pretty well. They're just heading into turn 1, and they are. So seems at the moment like X11's maybe used a slightly lower wing and managing to enough energy for the straight each lap to hold Gunnar back, but obviously again as the laps tick away, so not many left, but these mediums are definitely going to be starting to hurt a bit now, so it won't be too bad. So don't get me wrong, they're not going to be even close to falling off the edge before the end, but they're definitely getting worn. See there, even with the RS down this straight, okay, it's a lot shorter than the home pit straight, but they're not really making much of an inroad. Hey users, welcome back. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure users, but I think Gunnar may have made contact with him, but I'm not 100%. I didn't actually see the contact, but Gunnar was wide off track and Whoopi was spun round, so it's either that or Whoopi spun it round himself and Gunnar went wide to avoid him. That could well have happened as well. But again there, you see X11 just... Oh no! Oh, he's kept it going, he didn't actually lose it. Was that himself, or was there contact there? It didn't look to me like there was, but I didn't hear anything. Usually you hear a sound if you're actually on board with the car behind, but interesting. Ultimately, it doesn't make any real difference. No, it does make a real difference actually, because Vlungus gap was 7 at the moment. That'd be pulled out to 10, and Vlungus is only picking up 4. So actually, I think that turns it around. I think that means Mercedes go back. There was contact as well, so but that is actually huge. But I'm pretty sure that does mean that Mercedes will retain P3 in the constructors. Gap 7 in Mercedes advantage. Massey's getting 3 extra points as it stands to X11. And Velogius at the moment, as it stands, is only gaining 4. He may get a bit more because Whoopi's got a penalty. But even if he gets 6, it wouldn't matter, would it? And Massey just, well, he's just moved into P2 as well. And that definitely kills it. So, well, the irony here could be that if Gunnar did make contact with Whoopi earlier on, the irony could be that he will have cost. What am I going on about? I'm sorry, guys. I'm talking absolute crap, aren't I? The battle for P3 in the championships between Alfa and Ferrari. Sorry. So what am I talking about? Not Merc. Sorry. So yeah, no. As it stands, 12 points for X11, 6 for Whoopi. That's a difference of 6. Longest gets 4. That's a difference of 10. 1 at the moment from Hunter. Difference of 9. So now, as it stands, Alfa Romeo will take P3 in the championship. So Bowden through the final corner, and he's going to take victory in Bahrain. He's going to take my driver of the day in Bahrain. Superb drive from the youngster as Massey crosses the line in the end to fight back to P2. Getting slightly due to the contact between Gunnar and X11, but still he had to be there, he had to do it. So P2 for Massey. Gunnar P3 could be investigated by stewards though. X11 in P4, Corey P5, Valungus 6, Whoopi 7, Monsters 8, Fine Cut 9, and Hunter in 10. Fair play to Whoopi. Without that contact, he was looking at a podium and he had damage from the start when his teammate hit him into turn 1. As Craig finishes P13, Chris 14, and Chips a massive fair play and well done to Chips for finishing this race and finishing the season and not just driving in, retiring. That's what the mature people do, shall we say. Yeah, so Whoopi confirms. So, there we go. Really on smoke? Which type of smoke? Come out to celebrate. Valungus likes me to watch the Valungus, why have I got to watch the podiums all the time? It's to do with his highlights that he does. Let's have the podium on there, so I'm endeared by it. As always, drivers, don't forget to vote for your drivers of the day in the votes channel. Say my driver of the day, definitely our winner, Bowden. Now let's invite then. So invite Bowden, invite Mercy. And invite Gunnar. Don't know what you mean, Nuders. So was that everyone then? Right, just a sec, guys. Right, I've just included the party audio, so you should be able to include your audios now. Okay. Um, right. No Daguna at the moment. So, Massey, I'll come and speak to you first. Obviously, you won the championship last week, so today was more about confirming Mercedes in P2 and being on hand to snatch the constructors if something were to happen to Aston Martin. It wasn't to be, but still, you finished on the podium once again, so congratulations, mate. How was the race for you?
Yeah, I mean, I almost didn't get a lap in qualifying because I was running late with the kids, so
Yeah.
I quickly got a lap in. Um, so the start was pretty decent. I saw in my review mirror the Ferrari come in with no
Yeah.
brakes at turn one, so I just made sure I didn't turn in. But then I saw him absolutely murder his teammate. I thought,
Murderous
yep, that's
teammate, yeah.
Ferrari strategy at full at its best. And then I just sort of tucked in Bowden's pace in the hards early on when I was expecting them to be colder was actually really
It was
impressive. So
superb,
I
yeah.
couldn't I couldn't quite get to him as quickly as I wanted to. And then when I eventually got him, I think Whoopi had got me as well. Whoopi was driven brilliant with. I imagine he had some kind of damage with the
He had
torpedo.
yellow side pod and yellow like
Oh
undercar
wow, okay,
damage. So
fair play to him then. Um, yeah, and then after the pit stops, I fell a little bit back from Whoopi, and I was just thinking, oh, this is P4, potentially P5. It wasn't going very well, and then controversial safety car, which I'll let Toto talk about afterwards. Um, didn't really help. It only helped the people on the hards.
yeah,
And so I thought, let's have some fun. It's last race. Let's pit and have some fun. So
yeah,
yeah, had some good battles with some people I haven't battled with much, and then had a really good battle with I think it was X11 and Daguna near the end, and then obviously there's a bit of contact between a couple of them. I can't remember who, but there was about three lines running into at turns. I think it's turn seven at one point where I think two cars were on the track, two cars were off the track, one was going around the track. It was probably entertaining for the people watching. And then yeah, when it got to the penultimate lap, the final lap at the first corner, I thought if I had to go battle with Gunnar all season, I'm going to go for this. I just thought I want P2. Um, and fair play to me, left me the space. And I think we touched a little bit, but it was good fun. I enjoyed it.
yeah, yeah. Um, okay. Yeah. I mean, all round, Massey. All I want to say is well done on your podium today, but a massive well done for the season. Um, defending champion, defended it. I hope you're going to go into a third season with us. We'll see. Guess you've got to see what the new game's like first. But yeah,
Yeah, I'll be there, definitely.
yeah, excellent. I'm glad you will be, and let's see if you can have the same sort of pace on 23 and see if you can defend it. Um,
Fingers crossed.
let's
Thank you.
let's come to this young man then. So, Bowden, congratulations, brilliant victory, absolutely brilliant. I think Massey said just then about your pace on the hards early on, and I personally think that's where you won the race, was being fast on the hards early doors. Um, Obviously gave you the advantage of the mediums in the second stint. Are you there? Or am I talking to nobody? Maybe
Oh
he's
no,
just
he's
left
left
the
the
party.
party.
Oh well. I'm not sure where he's left. Unless his microphone isn't working and that's why you couldn't hear him. Um, well. Never mind. Can't be helped. Anyway, that's that's the end of the season then, guys. So that's the end of F1 22 for the Sunday Night League. Don't forget Monday night tomorrow night. Good luck to those guys on their final race. I myself. Oh no, he's asking me to invite him back now. Hang on. Come on. Let's see if we can get him back in. Been shame if he didn't do the interview on his win. So, Bowden.
It's not showing he's got a headset next to his name.
No, it's not. His name's not coming up, which suggests I don't think your microphone's working, mate. You can probably hear us, but it does. I don't think your microphone's working. because your name's not coming up on the screen, which it would do even if you were, you know, if your microphone was working, it would go. Ah, hello, 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 Bowden. Have you clicked to include your audio? Yes, excellent. I don't know why it suddenly started working. Had you forgot to turn something up, or? Ah, fair enough. Um, okay. Right. Anyway, let's go. I forgot what I asked in the first place now. Something to do with yeah. Yeah. Well, massive congratulations on your win. You drove absolutely superb. My driver of the day as well. You'll be getting my vote. Um, Massey touched in his interview bit there that you had really good pace early doors on the hard tyres. And I agree with him. I think that's what won you the race in the end because obviously you're right up there. Even if the safety car hadn't have come, I still think you won that race. But obviously we'll never know if that would have been the case now. But I think you would have been favourite for it. But anyway, yeah, from your point of view, mate, just take us through it. Yeah, yeah, they just had to do a little bit longer than what they were be due to, wouldn't they? If you'd have put it in your normal time slot, so it's yeah, I think they were probably just starting to go a little bit towards the last couple of laps. So yeah, um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, you qualified really well. You're only half a tenth off a pole. You were so close, which put you into that position. Um, and yeah, and I think the other vital thing was you held place down the straight off the start as well, which starting on the hard tyres with that long a run down to turn one was really impressive. So you must have got a good start. Yeah, yeah, cool, excellent. There we go, Massey. You must feel like you're like in a Bristol sandwich right now.
So I can't understand a word either of you are saying. Sorry.
Tractors. Right. Okay, yeah. Well, again, Bowden, massive congratulations tonight. Nice for you to get the win last race of the season, and hopefully you can start the first season on 23 as you're leaving off this one. It'd be good to be chatting to you on a regular basis next season. So, um, right, excellent, guys. Well, again, to all of you out there, thank you ever so much. To everybody that's followed. What's that? Oh, don't worry. Okay, yeah. So everybody that's watched along with me and kept me entertained, and everybody who watches stream back, I've got a feeling, Bowden, that they couldn't hear you. Um, yeah. Never mind. Okay. All right then. I know what you said, and it was a very good interview, way beyond your years, shall we say? You're very good. Right. Anyway, thanks very much, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow night for GRL, so come and join me for that at 8 p.m. And for the last race of the season there as well. Funny enough, it is everywhere at the moment. And I'll see you then. Good night. God bless. Enjoy what little is left of your weekends.